They will literally be knocked out the way like a bowling ball. The level of arrogance on this planet right now is all being brought up for healing. Karma, in my opinion, creates your destiny. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis, and I have a beautiful divine light coming through me today. I don't know how and I don't know why, but it is just literally shining through my head. So I decided to, rather than tamper with it, I just took it as a sign that this is obviously supposed to be. Ladies and gents, it has been a minute since I've put a video out. As you guys know, I am traveling right now. I have been on the road for a few weeks. And I've got a couple of weeks left to go until I make it back to I'm going to be flying back into the UK, and then I'm going to be having a couple of weeks in Europe, running Soul School 4 out of Bristol in the United Kingdom. And then I will be back on my merry wanders again. So much for this being the last one, I hear you say. Yeah, I've actually had a big calling, which is exciting. Considering I do actually truly believe that what's happened right now is a massive piece of the puzzle that will be done by the time I finish this, stepping into next month. However, all of that said, there is a calling that has taken place, and a calling, I've had a few signs on it, so I'm just waiting for more information on that. Anyway, ladies and gents, how are we? How have things been? Like I say, I apologize for only putting out obviously last week's video. I've not put anything else out since then. I am going to be filming the full moon video maybe later on today to be able to get that out to you guys as well. But this is our normal Lucy Davis live at 5 p.m. UK time. Now, because of the time zone I'm on, it is not practical for me to do this call, unfortunately, at the moment live. So I'm actually going to be with a friend next weekend. And so I am going to see if it's possible for me to actually do a Sunday morning UK time Sunday service, which is what I used to do years and years ago. And I know I mentioned it in my last week video, but it wasn't practical to do it this week, which is why I'm pre-recording this now for us all. And today's going to be a bit of a mishmash, ladies and gents, in all honesty, because a lot has been coming in, a lot has been going on personally, energetically, globally. I've been getting a lot of messages from people asking my opinions on certain things. So for me, this is the quickest, easiest way to be able to answer all of those questions. And then people can come here, you can ask comments in the comments, and I can come back to you. And obviously I can explore it further if necessary next week. Now, just before I step into the content of today's video, ladies and gents, I would love to remind you that we've got a few really, really cool things taking place right now. And the best way to find out about all of this stuff is via the weekly woo. I have a number of messages on a day-to-day basis saying, Lucy, can you tell me about this? Lucy, can you tell me about that? Ladies and gents, I cannot say it enough. The best place, particularly when I'm on the road, to be able to navigate this is via my weekly woo. My weekly woo is my weekly newsletter. You will only get one email a week from myself. It comes out on a Tuesday at around 7 p.m. UK time. Sometimes if I'm on the road and I haven't been able to get it done, it is, I'll send it out by 7 o'clock on the Wednesday, but that's the maximum it will ever be, is one day late. And this is literal up-to-date information from myself. There is a beautiful personal statement from me sharing the ins and outs of what's been going on and where I've been going and how I've been doing and those kind of things. And it's actually really beautiful for you guys, apparently, because this is the feedback that I get every week, that, you get the vibration coming through, you get the activation codes coming through. So if you are somebody who loves my content, if you are somebody that's just found me, maybe this is the perfect place for you guys to hang out. Like I say, you will get one email a week. And what we do in there is we offer everything up firsthand. So for example, Soul School, we have a few new additions out there. So we've got Soul School 3, which is available for you to purchase online. For now, we're having a trial period of £44 only to be able to watch the content from Soul School 3, which was filmed back in November. Now, if you haven't had your head under a rock for the last few months, you will know that Soul School 3 activated and transformed the lives of well over 200 people. They had massive shifts. They've gone on to do a number of different things, depending on obviously what they've taken away from it. But it was so well documented, and there were testimonials coming out from left, right, and center, and people tagging me in things, which of course I share. So if you would like to see what Soul School is about, this is the cheapest you will ever be able to buy. I don't ever put the 2-day events out, and I will never put the 2-day events out to sell. So this 1-day event is a great example as to what we do, and it's a slice of what we actually do at the 2-day one. So if you are somebody who's intrigued, if you're somebody who would love to get involved, if you are somebody that's like, oh my God, I'm coming to Soul School 4, I'd love to see what I'm going to get involved in, go check that out. Like I say, it's £44 only on my website for now. It will go up in price at some point, but this is like a trial price because we want to see the feedback. We want to see how it goes. This is the first time that we've done that. Secondly, and all of this stuff is on the weekly woo, guys. This is the way that you find out about it firsthand. We've got the Soul School scholarships. So we have launched the program to invite a number of people. We've got a number that we are going to have come on the program for free. Now, when I say for free, you have to arrange your travel and you have to arrange your accommodation. And do remember, it's a 2-day event. However, you do get access to our Facebook group, which obviously you can arrange lifts and you can arrange whatever else it is that you need in that group with people that are traveling from your own area or maybe looking for a roomie to share with to keep the costs down. So that is available to you guys as well. It's not like we're going to give you the ticket for the couple of days but not let you get involved in anything else. So there's that on offer as well. And obviously, ladies and gents, if you can afford to come to Soul School 4, the tickets, I'm saying this, I haven't even checked, and I probably should check, but I'm assuming there are still tickets available for you to attend. Now, all of this stuff, all of the links will be in the description field. To get on the scholarship, you have to be part of the weekly woo. So my recommendation to you is go below this video in the description field. Literally under the header, there is the weekly woo. Click on that. Get signed up, and you will have clickable links within the weekly woo tomorrow that you can click on and go and either buy a Soul School ticket, you can go and sign up for the scholarship, or you can access Soul School 3. Of course, there is so much more in the weekly woo than that. You will get insights into my travel. You will get insights into my little world that I live in, which is seemingly quite an interesting world from what people are saying to me right now. So that is the best place to hang out. And ladies and gents, it's the closest you can get to me, in all honesty. It's where I pour my heart out. It's where I am probably the most vulnerable and I'm the most honest, because this is my loyal following. These are people that invest in me every single week. And I do share my personal stuff. I do share with them how I'm feeling. I do share like the intricacies of what's going on in my life, much more so than on a public forum like this. So, you know what it's like. Censorship is massive. You know, my YouTube account, my Instagram account, they're both massively censored. I don't know why. You know, I lost my Facebook account in 2020, and I don't know why, but Instagram seems to be shadow banning me at the moment and kind of like making it a little bit difficult for people to find me, because often I'm getting messages saying, why did you make me unfollow you? And I'm like, I never do that stuff. Like, I literally don't do anything on social media other than post. I don't go check out stories. I don't do any of that stuff because I'm quite a busy lady. And as much as I love, you know, I love to know what you guys are up to, I'd much rather you come and talk to me about it and tell me, you know, in all honesty, because otherwise I'd just be sat there scrolling constantly. And it's just the discipline that I've got in my life. I don't scroll. If I open and I see something beautiful or see something that resonates with me, I give it a little love heart or I give it a little like, but it's just the way that I live my life. And I've done that for a very, very, very long time. So again, before we step into the content, how have you been finding these energies? I have had hundreds, if not thousands, of messages since I have been away over the last few weeks saying, oh my goodness gracious me, what is going on with the energies? Oh my God, Lucy, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, how am I coping with this? to the other end, which is even more intense, of people going, oh my God, that day last week, I kind of didn't want to be here. People are being so open and so vulnerable right now that we are being hit hard. You know, we're being asked to level up vibrationally, and then we've got all of the light coming in. We've then got everybody's healing coming up. And oh my goodness gracious me, I don't know if this resonates with you, but literally people's healing is coming up left, right, and center. People verbal diarrheaing over you because they want to be right. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They've got a little bit of information and they're like, oh, tell me that this isn't the truth, you know, like, or tell me that this is the case. And it's like, whoa, that brings healing up. Then we've got people that are lying right now. How many people do you know that have been lying to you or lying about you or lying in a work situation or something? And you're like, wow, why are you doing this? Like, do you really think this isn't going to happen? And I've been talking about this a lot, of course. So I bring it in for healing, right? And, you know, people close to us, people in our inner circle, people in our wider circle, people that we don't really know very well, they're all having their healing coming up for the surface. And, you know, when it's on the exterior of your inner circle, it's okay. But when it's in your inner circle, blimey, it cuts deep. When you think you know somebody and then you find out that they've lied to you and they've thrown you under the bus and they've been, you know, like they've made it seem very one-sided, like that's a tough pill to swallow. And this is what's happening right now. The number of people reaching out to me, sharing these insights about their life, it's heartbreaking. Like, I actually feel for these people so much, because these are relationships that they've been in. These are best friend relationships that they're in. And it's like, wow, like I really thought I knew this person. Like I was, you know, I've given my life to this person. And now I found out this. I'm going to say this, hopefully for the last time. If you believe that you can get away with being a bit of an arse and your lies aren't going to get caught out, they're not going to come to the surface, you're freaking delusional and you're being arrogant. The level of arrogance on this planet right now is all being brought up for healing. And you are being genuinely arrogant if you think, I'll never get caught out. Like, I'm feeling at the moment, and this is literally just dropped into my head, that a number of unsolved murders and a number of unsolved crimes, all of a sudden they're going to be coming back on, they're going to be reinvestigated, and they're, you know, the people are going to get pinpointed for them, because this is the vibration that we're in right now. Any corruption that is going on, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's in the government, whether it's in medical, whether it's in educational, like, and I need you to hear this, because most people hear the medicine, the education, the government, but they miss the valuable point about in their lives. And I don't mean to be funny, all you've got is the life that you're living. Doesn't matter what the government do. We can't control that. That's just a game that goes on over there. We can't control the educational system. All we can do is control the reactions that we have to that. Likewise, the medical. The only thing that we have is our own lives. And so many people are distracted with the noise that they aren't actually owning the fact that their lies have to come to the surface. Their mistruths have to come to the surface. And like I say, anybody that is arrogant enough to think that, oh, I won't get caught out, you're going to get caught out with your freaking pants down, and you're going to have a red poker like slapping you on your butt. Let me be straight with you. And then when that happens, there's a process that needs to take place. You know, if you actually value that person, it's I'm sorry. And I spoke about this on Instagram yesterday or the day before, I don't know. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And the I'm sorry should contain all the things that you've done. I'm sorry for taking your money. I'm sorry for defaming you. I'm sorry for accusing you. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for, like, whatever it is that they've done. Like, I am sorry because of because then, you know, you acknowledge that they get what they've done. Please forgive me. What do I need to do to help you forgive me? And then what can I do to show you that changed behavior? You know, I'm going to change my behavior. What can I do to prove to you that behavior has been changed? And that last bit, it's down to the person, right? Like, some people will be like, I really appreciate the apology. Thank you for acknowledging all the things that you've done. But you know what? I don't want you in my life. Other people might be like, yeah, that's okay, you know, and you get back best buddies or back together or whatever. But, you know, it's down to you and your standards and your values. Depends on the size of the lie, I guess. It depends on the size of, the apology. I don't know. Like, it's down to you guys to figure that out. And remember, all of this is karma. Karma is going to be something that I'm going to be talking about shortly. We are in the most powerful period of time of healing. And I've got to be honest, I am placed where I've been placed right in this now moment. And the biggest amount of healing is going on with me. And I feel so grateful for it. I had a situation happen late last week, and I am so grateful. Like, don't get me wrong, it hurt. It made me cry. It makes me get emotional talking about it now still, but I'm so grateful for the insights in the way that I have evolved in how I deal with things like this, and how I, really can look at my standards and my values and look at the part that I've played in this. Why I've called it in on a level, what I had to do. Because that's it. This is about healing. Remember, and again, I'm going to be speaking about this imminently, but remember, everything that's going on in our lives right now is a karmic cycle. So let's say, for example, you have cheated on somebody recently, you've cheated on somebody, and they have found out about it, because that's what's happening right now. The truth has come to the surface. The person who has been cheated on, of course, will be devastated, of course, will be heartbroken, of course, will go into victim mode. But look at where you've cheated on people. Maybe you've cheated on yourself. That's why you've brought this experience in, so you remember what that feels like and you never cheat on yourself again. Most people look at other people for the healing, when in fact, we should be turning the mirror on ourselves and reminding ourselves that this is all premised off of what we have done to ourselves. Now, you might be there going, no, I've never cheated. Okay, so where have you cheated yourself? Now, cheating yourself could mean not speaking your truth. It could mean not being authentic. Could be being a bit, what's the word? I've got silly in my mind, and I don't mean that, but, being a little bit lenient. Maybe you're believing too much in what people say. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. Like, I trust everybody. As soon as somebody's lost my trust, that's it. Gone. Like, I'm quite ruthless like that. I was going to say heartless, but I'm far from heartless. I'm ruthless like that. As soon as you've lost my trust, that's it. I do not do lies. I do not do cheating. They're the two things. That's my standards. That's my values. And I'm very open and honest with people about this. Like, I say to my coaches, I say to my team, like, you lie to me and you'll be walking out the door before I get in any relationship. You lie to me, you cheat on me, and I'll be gone. Like, there will never be a question of that, because this is my value. This is my standard. And it's not wrong to have those standards and values, ladies and gents. It's actually very powerful, because then people know exactly where they stand with you, and they know if they cross that line, they're gone. Literally, they're gone. People often say to me, oh, fluff it up for me, Lucy, be gentle with me, be nice to me, like, go careful. No, like, it's better that you know where you stand. And I had a beautiful conversation yesterday or the day before with a guy, and like, he really got it. He really got it. And he was like, nope, I'd much rather somebody was straight with me. I would much rather that somebody was really brutal, and kind of like, because then it's down to me the way that I want to treat that person. Like, what if everybody was that honest? What if people were that vulnerable that they could literally just say, this is my standards? Like, that means you maintaining those standards as well, because this is a big thing that's happened to me in the last week. Is certain standards are there, but one person's, actually living and breathing them, and the other one's not. And that's not okay either. That's lies. That's inauthenticity. But then how can you expect people that don't know who they are to be authentic? Like, how can you, and this is the dichotomy that we are in right now, ladies and gents. we're recognizing this, we're collapsing all of this. And this is why we are gravitating towards people, you know, who are so in alignment with you. And anybody that's not in alignment with you, you know, if you really know who you are, you're certain of who you are, and you live your truth on a day-to-day basis, trust me, anybody who's not that will be cleared from your path. They will literally be knocked out the way like a bowling ball. God, I've gone off on a right old tangent. I wasn't going to talk about any of this stuff today, but off we go, she says, off we go. So the three things that I did want to talk about in this video today, ladies and gents, are thoughts, emotional trauma, and karma. Now, the reason I have picked these three areas is just because of everything that's been coming up over the last few weeks. And in all honesty, I really do prefer doing these videos live. So I just thought what I'll do is I'll pull a few of the key areas together, put a bit of a mishmash out there. You guys can ask loads of questions. And then whenever I come back on next time, we can have, you know, a bit of a discussion about it, if obviously that is what we choose to do. So first and foremost, ladies and gents, you know, last month in January of 2024, my 12-month program, Self-Love Club membership, it was looking at thoughts, the power of the brain. This is something that I'm very passionate about. And just on that note, ladies and gents, if you do want to join my, what is currently 12-month program, but come September of 2024, it's going to be a 9-month program, please do check out the description field and you can go and join the waiting list. You cannot just sign up at any point. We launch it once a year, every single year, and it's going to be starting in September this year. Normally it starts in June, but we're scrapping that to give me a bit of time out. Make of that what you will. And so we're going to be launching it in September, and it's going to be a 9-month program. In that, you will look at thoughts very deeply. It is one of the most transformational months, and you can ask any of my previous members about this. Now, for me, it's one of my areas of passion. Why? Because my brain is so full on. Anybody that knows me, you know, like I could have convinced myself 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, that the sky was purple with pink spots, you know, like literally that's how powerful my brain is. I would make everything much more toxic than it needed to be. It would start pure, but then I would allow it to spiral out of control. And, you know, and then I realized that I was the most powerful manifester in my life. So I became very passionate about unpicking thoughts and about stilling the brain, about recognizing the patterns that the brain have. And I explore this in detail in Self-Love Club membership program. But very high level for the purpose of this video, your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. Okay, now what do I mean by that? If you are constantly thinking, I'm skint, I'm depressed, I can't make any progress, I can't find any work, I can't find the love of my life, what's going to happen is you're going to be getting more and more of that into your life. Now, the reason I say this is the universe literally listens to what you say. It listens to what you say. And if you say, it's not possible for me to find love, it's not possible for me to find work, I'm skint, I'm lack, and cancel, delete, return to sender, all of these, by the way, you are going to get more of that in your life. And people really miss the memo with this, where I'm concerned. You know, they really do miss the memo. And I find it very intriguing because so many people say, but Lucy, I do affirmations, but Lucy, I do intentions and gratitudes. Yeah, you may well do all of these things, but unless you have the feeling behind it that you are deserved, unless you believe it with every single cell in your body, you are going to be bringing in these negative thoughts. If you look for the positives, oh, it's raining. Oh my goodness, it's been raining for days. Wow. Look how much the grass is growing. Look how green the trees are. Feel how much more oxygen we're going to get because the trees are growing. Oh, it saves me going to water the plants. Like, look at the positives in every situation. Yes, it's annoying when we go outside, ladies, and our hair goes all crinkly. You know, yes, it's annoying when we get caught in the rain and we don't have an umbrella. Like, I get all of that. But remember, if you look at the positives of your life, you will neurologically rewire your brain to see more positives. And this is why I am so passionate about labels, because as soon as you tell somebody, you've got cancer, you've got ADHD, you've got fibromyalgia, the thought perpetuates and it creates more. And then it condenses and it you know, and it really, really becomes something sticky in your brain. And then all of a sudden you constantly see it. You're constantly looking. And this is why I've said this before publicly, and I'm going to say it again. But when you get diagnosed with something and you go and find a group on Facebook, what happens is you all trauma bond. Rather than helping each other break out of it, and rather than helping each other see the positives of it, you know, and I make no secret of the fact that when I find out somebody like a child or whatever has been diagnosed with ADHD, I'm like, wow, this one's a little bright button. It's a bright button, shining from the inside out. It doesn't understand the world, whether it's a boy or a girl. They don't understand the world, but the world doesn't understand them either. So we have to give them a label and slap it on them so that we can kind of control it. And then we'll give them some medication to keep them low so that they don't shine their light too bright. Like, this is where I am with these labels. So I'm going to give you guys a test, if that's okay. I just looked up and it's 144. The sign in that. I'm going to give you guys a little test to do this week. And I would really, really love it if you guys can do this for a few days and then come back to me and tell me. So grab a piece of paper and a pen, and on that piece of paper and a pen, or maybe pop it in your phone unless you're watching it on your phone now, write down your favorite car, whether you're a car person or not. We all know what cars we like, you know, like I'm not mad into cars, but I love my car. My car is, you know, it's nothing particularly special, but I love my car. It's very comfortable. It does the job. It's safe. It's all of these things, you know, I love my car. So in my head, I might see my car. You know, I'm not really into the whole Ferrari or Lamborghini. Like, don't get me wrong, they're fun to drive, but I'm not really into all of that. So in my head, maybe I will pick my car, which is an X4. Now, that's my favorite car. Tick. So I've done that, I've written it down. Now, what I would like you guys to do is constantly see that car in red. So you make a decision, whether you like the color red or not, is by the by. This is a test. This is an example. This is something I want to show you how powerful your brain is. So let's say, for example, you have picked a Range Rover. In your mind, see the Range Rover in red. Okay? Constantly see the Range Rover in red. Oh, Range Rover red, Range Rover red, Range Rover red. Manifest it, see it in your mind's eye. And then start to look. And I've never seen a red Range Rover, just so you know. So if that is your car, like, this is going to be a really intriguing one. Let's have a look at what shows up. And this is how our brain works. This is how powerful manifestation is, because if you want to see an X4 in red, let me tell you straight, you will see that. Because the power of your brain is like, oh, we need to prove to Lucy that she's right, so let's bring it in. So I would like you guys to do that test, that example, that whatever we want to call this, over the course of the next few days, and then come back to this video and report to me how you have got on with that exercise. Now, when you've done that exercise, and I'm expecting every single one of you that watches this video to do that, which is normally about 1,500 to 2,000 people. So that's a lot of people doing this exercise. So something's going to happen with red, you know, with 2,000 people looking for red, we're going to see something red happen in the next few days, the next week, right? So once you've done that, I would like you to stop and think about how many negative thoughts that you have on a day-to-day basis. You might want to do a tally for this. You might want to just be like, oh my goodness gracious me. And then look at it and be like, right, how can I turn this negative thought into a positive? Now, there are people out there that love being in victim mode and, oh, love to be in lack and love to be, you know, oh, woe is me. Like, it's because it's their emotional trauma response. And again, we'll speak about that in a moment. But, you know, that won't want to change because it's scary. It's much more comfortable to be in woe is me, victim, like I get attention this way. Like, most people behave in the way that they do for attention, you know, like genuinely. If you're lying to somebody, it's because you want attention from somebody. Like, it's wild. When you actually break it down, there's a few emotional trauma responses and everything leads into one of those. So whatever we're calling it, the test, the example is, look for the red car, look for your favorite car, but look for it in red, because we're all looking for red, remember? And then look at how many times that happens and get to grips with how powerful your brain is, and then look at the negative thoughts that you have and how can we turn them into more positive. Okay. Now, a little test that you can do, and it's not even a test, it's a little tip for you. if you get distressed, so if you're in moments of anxiety or whatever, they teach you this in meditation. I remembered this literally this morning. It was one of the monks when I was in Vietnam that told me this. I've never had anxiety. I'm lucky. I've never had any of that. Like, I'm one of those people that if I get that moment of, oh my God, I can't do this, I'm like, do you know who you're talking to? Of course I can do this. And then I step up and I get it done, because I don't let my ego control me. You know, like, I really, really do not let my ego control me. I've got itch on my shoulder. So what you can do if you get anxious or distracted, like, lean back, tilt your eyes backwards and your head as well. And just that position. And if you do this in meditation, if you literally just tip your head back and your eyes, you will instantly feel relief and calm. But again, this is about you choosing to do this. A lot of people like to feel anxious because it justifies them having shitty behavior. Now, you can create that shift within meditation, or you can just do it in your normal day-to-day life. When you're driving the car, obviously not when you're literally driving, but if you're stopped in the car at red lights or whatever, you can just tip your head back and do that. Just be prepared for people that are probably going to beep you if you've got your head tipped back when the lights go green. Okay. So let's have a little look at emotional trauma responses, because I mentioned it a moment ago. Like I said, there is a handful of emotional trauma responses that feed into absolutely everything. And normally what happens is, you know, these emotional trauma responses come up because people literally cannot reciprocate what you are doing. So what do I mean by that? People who are at war with themselves cannot ever and will not ever give you peace. I'll never forget somebody that used to be quite close to me always used to say, I just want peace, Lucy. I just want peace, Lucy. But they were so at war with themselves, delusionally, they didn't see it. They were so at war and they loved the drama that they literally couldn't have peace for themselves. So they would say they want something, but they reveled in the fact that it was dramatic. They reveled in the fact that it was, you know, these kind of responses. People at war with themselves cannot ever give you peace. Those people who betray themselves cannot ever give you loyalty, ever. If you lie to yourself by having a sneaky little biscuit behind the cupboards when the kids aren't looking, you lie to yourself. How on earth can you not lie to other people? You've normalized lying, and people will be like, oh yeah, but that's just a little white lie. No, you're lying to yourself. How can you ever be really open and honest with somebody if you can't be open and honest with yourself? And this is the intriguing piece of what's coming up for healing at the moment. So many people are being caught out lying, and they're normalizing it, and they're making it okay. Well, it's not as serious as that. Hang on a minute. The fundamental truth is you lied. That's serious in my book. You made it out to be something to do with me when it wasn't. So what else are you willing to lie about to get you attention? And that's what it boils down to. Most of these things are emotional trauma responses because they want attention. So if you are somebody who knows who you are and you are extremely open and honest, and you attract somebody who's not open and honest, look, and for me, absolutely, this is my healing journey, right? Because I never used to be open and honest. I was in so many ways, but there were a few things that I did to people over the years, and this is karma. It's karma coming up, you know, and it's beautiful to be stepping through that and just being like, thank you so much for bringing it up. I forgive myself. I forgive these people. You know, it's very important. So people who betray themselves cannot give you loyalty. People who lie to themselves cannot give you honesty. This is all premised off of emotional trauma responses. People who lie, people who are at war, people who betray themselves, people who are dishonest, all of these things come from an emotional trauma response within them, or emotional trauma more to the point, where they had to lie, where they had to be fight or flight mode, where they had to be, they had their loyalty question. So of course now they push people away. And this is the intriguing thing about it. There are so many people on the planet that literally do not know how to love. They are loving from a space of emotional trauma, which is why they think it's okay to lie. Yet if somebody lies to them, it's like the biggest drama taking place. If somebody cheats on them, it's the biggest drama taking place. And what people don't realize is that God is watching it all. God is literally watching it all. Source, whatever resonates with you, Allah, Jesus, like whatever resonates with you. See people as who they are, not the potential or who you would like them to be. That's been a massive lesson for me in the last 12, 18 months. Massive lesson. Massive lesson. I'd like to say that I'm learning. I would really like to say that I am, but I'm living the dream on that one. I'm living the dream on that one. So let's take a little look at karma before I go. I'm going to do less than an hour today, just because I'm a little bit time poor today. So let's look at karma. As I just alluded to, karma is a real thing. Karma, in my opinion, creates your destiny. So every action that you take brings in a reaction. Okay, so let's say, for example, when I was younger, I cheated on a boyfriend, somebody who I loved dearly, and you know what, it's been a massive regret throughout my life that I did it. I was young, I was a baby. Well, I wasn't a baby, but you know what I mean. I was super young, like 20, less than 20 probably at the time. So I behaved badly towards this person. Now, the reason I behaved badly towards this person was because of my emotional trauma. I had witnessed this. I had it kind of like rammed in my face from a very young age around cheating. And when I felt insecure, when I needed attention, rather than me ask the person that I was with, I went and sourced it elsewhere. Because why didn't he know that I needed attention? Telepathically, like, why did he not know what I needed? And I didn't realize until much later on in my life, in my mid-30s, that actually, if you need something, you've got to ask for it. People cannot read your thoughts. I mean, obviously we can, and especially at the moment, we're stepping much more into telepathy. But my point is, nobody feels the same way that you do. So we have to ask for it. So the fact that I went off and did that rather than asking him for more attention or asking him to meet my needs, which weren't unreasonable, by the way, I created some karma. So my destiny was that at some point, somebody was going to cheat on me. Somebody was going to lie to me. Somebody was going to hurt me like I hurt that person. Now, 10 years down the line, I apologized to this person for it. But that was 10 years down the line. So I had 10 years of karma that built up before the universe was like, oh, she actually did get the message. So this is the area that I would like to share with you today. Every single person that you have an entanglement with, and that's anybody that you live with, work with, speak to, people on your social media, like we've got entanglements with anybody that we're kind of having an energy exchange, even if it's a one-way energy exchange, we have karma with them. So let's say somebody lies to you. Okay, let's say somebody lies to you. That's their karma. They are going to get hit hard karmically because of that. Might be in a week, might be in a month, might be in a year, might be in 10 years, whatever. That person is going to get hit hard with the karma stick. How I respond to this karmic lesson that they've created for themselves is my karma. So if I go, screw you, and then literally go and screw somebody who's close to them or whatever, like that's nasty karma that's going to come to me. So they'll deal with the lying and I'll deal with my behavior. It's okay to say to people, you have hurt me. This is what you have done, and I am not going to tolerate this. That's you telling karma, I'm leaving it to you. So I've got a question or two for you. How do you respond to people when they are bad to you? And of course, this is a perception. What's bad to me won't be bad to you, and yada, yada, yada. So when somebody does something that you don't like, how do you respond? Do you blackmail someone? Do you bribe someone? Do you project on someone? Or do you just literally go, you know what? I'm really sorry. I should not have done that. Or do you have to argue the toss initially? Do you have to argue for a few days before you go, you know what? Yeah, I was really out of order. Because remember, all that time that you're arguing the toss is your karma. This is your response. And this is just compounding the level of karma that you're going to get. How do you respond when you do not get your own way? All of us want to get our own way all of the time, right? Like, let's be really honest about it. As human beings, we want to get our own way all of the time. Not unreasonable. Who wouldn't want to get their own way all of the time? But it's unrealistic. So how do you respond when that happens? Are you mean? Are you nasty? Do you blackmail? Do you project? Like, figure it out. Because this is how the levels of karma are going to be cleared or evoked in your life. What others do to you is their karma. What originates from them at their source is their karma. Like I say, if somebody lies to you, if somebody cheats on you, that is their karma. There is no way that you are going to be, and you're not going to be punished for that. You are going to be experiencing your karma on the way that you behave. Like I say, if you go out and you're like, I don't care, and you go out with the girls and you get drunk and that's your karma. You're not sitting with it. You're not behaving in the manner that perhaps you should do. Now, what comes from you is your karma. Like I say, you are allowed to say, you've hurt me. You are allowed to that kind of thing if you need to. You are allowed to do all of that. But remember, the level of reaction that you give that person is your karma. And they are involved in that, whether you like it or not. As soon as you've allowed that entanglement, rather than putting a boundary in place, there is this connection and they are involved in your karma. Let people be negative. Let people be negative about themselves. Let people be negative about you. Let them do what is their karma. And there are so many people out there that will watch this video and they'll be like, well, I've never done anything wrong. Trust me, darlings, you have. What you do with your intention is how your karma pans out. So if you intend that person ill health, if you intend that person to never meet another person, if you intend that person bad wishes, know that that is your karma. Karma is real. And no matter how much you believe in God, if you are an asshole, it will come for you. And this is one of my, what's the word? I was going to use the word gripes, and I don't think that that's a reasonable word. This is one of my areas of dissatisfaction with the Bible, because you are allowed to be an arse and be okay with it as long as you've got faith. I don't agree with that. Karma goes after everybody, whether you are religious, whether you are not religious, whether you are a good person or a bad person generally. You've got to be honest with yourself. The universe will always serve karma eventually, whenever the time is right. And there are people out there, trust me, there are people out there that I'm like, wow, how has this person not been slapped with the karma stick? And I'm just like, oh, the universe is just building it up. That's why. Remember, what goes around comes around. What you do is going to be brought back to you. How you react to it is the experience of life that you endure. Now, that said, if you lied many, many years ago and all of a sudden now you've got somebody lying to you, yes, that could be karma clearing, or it could be that your soul contract has literally just been like, right, you're strong enough to deal with this. You're strong enough to move past this. You're strong enough to put boundaries in place with somebody. So you're going to get hurt by this person lying to you. So they get their karma in the response of, no, I'm not having that. So they learn the behavior cannot be, and it feels cruel, right? You're sat there going through all this stuff, and then the next person gets the best version of them. It feels cruel, but you know what? It is what it is. Remember, the way that you react to karma is exactly the life that you are going to live. And I cannot say that enough. Be careful how you treat others. What you do to others is always going to come back on you, whether you like it, whether you're ready or not. It's coming. Bit of a heavy, feisty one today, isn't it, ladies and gents? She's been a bit feisty pants the last few days. So, ladies and gents, do let me know how these 3 topics. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video, by the way. I was just like, all right, I'm going to talk about these 3 areas. So hopefully I'll pop it out as a really cool title, but who knows? It's going to have karma, emotional trauma, and and all of that and thoughts in the title. But God knows how I'm going to link those 3. So, please do let me know how this sits with you. Please let me know if you are witnessing karma at the moment. Please let me know what you are experiencing on what level, so that we can obviously evolve this conversation next time I am back live with you. Ladies and gents, I'm having the most magical time, I have to be honest with you. No matter how much stuff is going on personally, and no matter how many tears that I have shed, life is really quite magic right now. Everything is being aligned at a rate that we will never know. We will never comprehend it. It's happening so quickly. We are collapsing linear time. We are really, really invoking a level of healing, like I say, on the planet that we just couldn't ever comprehend. So hang on in there. I'm sending all of you so much love. I'm sending you guys a little bit of the sunshine from where I am. And I really do look forward to being back with you. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next Sunday live. Ladies and gents, let me know in the comments below how this lands and whether I'm going to be seeing you at Soul School. Have the most beautiful day, guys, and I'll speak to you super soon.